Good evening, Sports Outlet Show family. What is going on? Welcome back to the Sports Outlet Show. I'm Joe Wagner alongside Brent Allegra and Braden Wilkins as always. Thanks for not tuning in last week because we weren't here, but we are back and better than ever here this week. Gentlemen, how are we feeling on this particular Wednesday? Definitely some interesting gear we're wearing in full force. First of all, I'll mention.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling pretty optimistic, pretty happy, pretty jazzed. Not really sure how to describe it. Because haven't really felt this feeling in quite a while. But we'll get into it. And we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, there's something in the air. I don't know why we all feel so good right now, but imagine it's because we might have received some news earlier this week.
Braden, what's the news?
James Franklin, you are a Hokie.
James Franklin officially. I will cheers to that, gentlemen. So, to the new era of Virginia Tech football. Cheers.
Cheers.
First of all, wants to go without saying, there are only positive things to say about Virginia Tech as a university, an athletic staff, slam dunk hire. I will say very little here just within my position within that athletic staff, but absolutely so happy to be a Hokie fan. Everything here that comes on this podcast is from the Hokie fandom of a young age. And just as a Virginia Tech Hokie fan, this is absolutely incredible. It's awesome. The one point I'll make, and Brent and Braden will take over the rest of this segment, is it's absolutely wild. James Franklin, you told me this 10 months ago, when they are a drive away from playing for the national championship, is your Virginia Tech Hokies head coach. Very exciting times in Blacksburg. Blessed to be here. All glory to God. Boys, go ahead and take over this massive announcement.
Yeah, it's still just like doesn't even feel real, to be honest with you. James Franklin, obviously, people have gripes about him, like not winning the big one. I don't know, just not closing out those huge games against like top 10 opponents. But I think what people forget is only one team can win a college football championship every year. Only one team. It's very, very hard to win one. There's, 100 teams competing for it. It's really, really difficult. And when you have a resume like James Franklin, 104-45 at Penn State, obviously has the success at Vanderbilt as well for those couple seasons. It's just surreal. When they made that announcement on College Game Day a couple weeks ago, that they were in the early talks, it kind of felt like, I don't know if this is going to get done, because it felt like we were in the early talks for a month or two now. So the fact that it's done and the fact that it's over just feels surreal. I'm excited. And I finally think that Virginia Tech is going to be back to competing for the ACC and possibly even more in the future.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Brent. I'm ecstatic. I think it's awesome. 6, 10+ win seasons in his time at Penn State. Since the Beamer era at Tech, we haven't sniffed that. So that would be very exciting. If he can just continue production that he had at Penn State, that would be great for the program. But yeah, it's just super awesome. He's always had very good ties to recruiting in Virginia, so I'm very excited about that as well. Keep some of that talent in the state, which would be awesome. So I'm just very excited to see how the program advances and where we go for the next couple years.
Absolutely stoked. So awesome. If you have not had a chance to go check out the press conference that happened at Castle this morning, especially Virginia Tech Hokie fans and Hokie Nation, 100% go check it out. You could just tell by the way that James Franklin speaks that this is massive as a Virginia Tech fan. So super pumped to see how this happens. Brent, Braden, if you decide you need some season tickets, I know a guy can help you out there, can help you out. Soft plug right there.
And the one thing I do just want to add, because I feel like it's very important to say, is I feel like the real hero in all of this is Brent Pry. Like that guy had every reason to talk bad about the Hokies after he was fired. And James Franklin admitted it today in his press conference. He was a huge reason in why James Franklin chose Virginia Tech. So the fact that he still loves it here, still is passionate about the team, passionate about the fan base, is huge. So build a statue of Brent Pry for all I care. If James Franklin wants to bring him in on the coaching staff, I'm all for it. Thank you, Brent Pry.
Absolutely. Very well said.
Penn State to Penn State. We're the NRV. We're the NRV. I'm just pumped. Just awesome time here in Blacksburg. Very excited to see what Franklin could do with the team next season. But hey, we got Miami and we got UVA. We're all back in Coach Montgomery. We got 2 more weeks to finish out the year. Time to play spoiler. But super excited to continuation. And hey, Virginia Tech basketball off to a good start. But we'll kick it over to a couple other things here on your Sports Outlet Show social, but obviously had to chat about the massive news of James Franklin. The Hokies signing the first coach of the coaching carousel as well, so getting out of there early is huge. Really, really intrigued to see what happens with Lane Kiffin and company and so many other names surrounding college football. Happy to be out of that. So an even bigger win there as well. But MLB awards, we have to talk about it just a little bit. I know it happened a little while ago. Honestly, not really much debate, so I'll be brief. NL MVP Shohei Ohtani, the DH pitcher, Dodger, whatever you want to call him, jack of all trades, best player in baseball in history, question mark. It's up for debate. Could just be yes. Absolutely insane. Speaks really good English, by the way, in press conferences recently, something to look into. Just kidding, but 55 home runs is ridiculous coming off an injury. 102 RBIs, ridiculous. Also throwing a 2.8 ERA, 62 strikeouts. Shohei was easily the National League MVP, excuse me. The only way it gets a little wishy-washy is with this AL one. It was between 2 guys. It was between right fielder Aaron Judge and catcher Cal Raleigh. Judge put up an absurd average with 331 first in the MLB, did have 53 home runs, 114 RBIs, and a 1.14 OPS, which was first place as well. Cal Raleigh, despite the batting average just being 247, which puts him just over the century mark in the league, you got to kind of brush an eye off on that. He led the league in home runs with 60, was third in RBIs with 125, and was fifth in OPS with .948. That's ridiculous for a catcher. Ridiculous. Any comments on if the committee gets this wrong here?
Yeah, I mean, big dumper. That's all I'm gonna say. Big dumper. He's got a big booty. Doesn't lie, you know. Obviously, the home run numbers are good, but you know you got to bring up the dump truck back there as well.
Yeah, I think with that average, it's impressive to hit that many home runs and that many RBIs. So I think it's fair to say this could have gone either way. I think it's fine that it didn't go to him, but it sucks. You wanted to see it go to Big Dumper.
Hey man, Aaron Judge, class act and a favorite. That's all I got to say. Heading over to the Cy Young real quick in the American League. It was no doubt about it with Tariq Skubal winning that one, 13-6 record. Records don't mean everything in baseball. You'll know why in a second. Had a 2.2 ERA on 195 innings pitched, 241 strikeouts, which was second, just 33 walks, and the best whip in baseball with a 0.89, which was in first place. Taking over the NL as a unanimous decision, Mr. Paul Skeens at 10-10.
Crazy.
Terrible. He's horrible.
A 1.97 ERA on 187 innings pitched, 216 strikeouts, and an 0.95 on his whip, which was fourth. Ridiculous. Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in baseball at the moment. It's absurd the fact this man goes out on a team that is so terrible. He is the Myles Garrett of this league. It's just absolutely amazing to see Paul get that. Rookie of the Year. Cy Young comes up just short in MVP voting as well in fifth place. So great year for the kid, and you actually saw him smile when he got an award. So that's something you don't typically see.
He's going to be smiling a lot more, too, when he goes to the Yankees in a year or two.
You know what? It's okay. It's fun. It's fun.
I'm just messing with you, Joe.
We went after Josh Naylor, and I hear Kyle Schwarber could be on the table. So
Always going to be a Schwarber fan. He's just incredible to watch. Always hits those bombs. He's always fun to watch for sure.
Schwarbomb.
Sure.
And I'd be remiss, and I mentioned the word committee talking about the MLB. We have to discuss how stupid this is. The Group of 5 college football playoff bid. We have to talk about how dumb the Group of 5 pool is. Where is Tulane coming from?
I don't know. I think the biggest robbery in all of this is JMU. Like I looked at the rankings and I was like, this just doesn't seem right. Like
This is stupid.
Where is JMU? Their only loss is to Louisville, and they didn't
week
even lose.
2.
They didn't even lose that bad either. They're playing a lot better than they were. Alonzo Barnett's obviously healing up from his injury from last season. He's scrambling a little bit more, running a little bit more. They look like a better team. They look like they should be the Group of 5 bid, but they're not for some reason.
It's not even that of like, is it JMU or is it Tulane? Tulane is my 4th pick to be the Group of 5 representation. You obviously have JMU, who Brent thanks on hitting on that. Their only loss was to Louisville. They're undefeated in the Sun Belt. They've won 8 straight. It was a week 2 loss when Barnett was hurt he was playing, but he was playing hurt. They have Washington State this week, Coastal Carolina next week. Another team that this is just disgusting towards is North Texas, who's been absolutely balling out. USF has fallen off the face of the earth after losing to Navy, having the 3rd loss. But UNT, after getting smacked 63-36 in Denton, has won 4 straight. They go to Rice this week. Then they play Temple. But here's the comparison. Now, Tulane's 2 losses is Ole Miss, who they lost to by 35 points. And then UTSA, as Brent loves to call them, UTSA. They lost to UTSA 48-26. This UNT team beat them 55-17.
Yeah. The UTSA is terrible.
This is laughable. This is laughable.
It just doesn't make sense. I know. Is it David or David in the comments is bringing up the Sun Belt being a weak conference, and I'm not going to disagree with that. I feel like they are, but at the same time, when you are losing to UTSA the way you are, and that record speaks for itself, the opponents they play, they've lost some really, really bad games as well. I don't see it. I think JMU should make this 10 times out of 10.
This is an embarrassment to college football. Like, I have no idea who was on the committee. I understand the Baylor AD had to step down from not just his job, but from the committee chair as well recently. But I didn't know the chairman was the one keeping this bunch together. This is laughable. Like, it's so funny you think it's a parody account, the fact that Tulane is in the playoffs as of today. And the committee is one that we've seen this before of, if you're in and you don't lose, unless you're Florida State, they don't take you out of it.
Yeah, they stick to their guns.
So is Tulane in their final 2 games even going to lose? I know they play Temple and somebody else.
Yeah, they play. I know they play Temple. I forget their other one. I feel like they could potentially lose to Temple. Temple is an okay team. Like they
play Charlotte.
Yeah, they're gonna beat Charlotte. But Temple, I could see them losing that game. If they do, I don't know. Is it JMU? Because I really don't know. Like, I feel like it already should be. So maybe they just take the next American opponent after that. Who knows? So.
Well, I mean, the thing you have to think about at the end of the day is, are they gonna take JMU or are they gonna take the team that wins the American? Because
that's what I'm saying.
The likelihood of JMU winning the Sun Belt is high. And if it's at this rate, possibly UNT versus Tulane, based on tiebreakers and everything going on, because UNT beat Navy. Dude, I have no idea. But this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous where we are right now.
And this is coming from Hokie fans. Like, we probably don't want to see JMU in it. You know, like we like hating on JMU. They're another Virginia school. But at the same time, when a team gets robbed, and I feel like we're at that point with JMU for sure.
Braden's down there furious. He can't even speak.
It's okay. I got a little bit to say on it later. But yeah, I'm completely in agreement with you guys. It's chaos in the group of 5 right now.
Hopefully it all works itself out, but just laughable. College football week 12 recap. Let's go ahead and get into it. Thanks for hanging with the Sports Outlet Show Social. What a week of college football it was, specifically in the SEC. Turmoil happened in Tuscaloosa. Oklahoma, again, showing Alabama they are little brother. Oklahoma wins 23-21 in Tuscaloosa, handing Bama their first SEC loss, their second total loss. Obviously, that week 1 loss to Florida State is looking terrible week after week. But Kalen DeBoer, 0-2 as head coach against the Sooners. This time, they put up some more points. They didn't lose by 21 this time. But Oklahoma wins with just, I think it was like 230 yards of offense, which was like their lowest in like blank amount of years. It was a lot of years. It was crazy with the lowest offense they've had. Ben Arbuckle and John Matier are still trying to figure it out. But the defense stood on business with this one. Oklahoma was outgained, here you go, 406-212. But Ty Simpson threw his sub of the year and also had a fumble. Ty Simpson, the Heisman favorite. One of those was a pick 6, and the other was a field goal off the fumble. So 10 points straight there, given up by the Crimson Tide. Simpson threw for 326, a touchdown and a pick. And John Matier only had 138 passing yards and a rushing touchdown. Now, here's where it gets fun. Oklahoma obviously slotted into the 8 seed. If they don't lose their next 2 games, they won't be representing the SEC championship. I don't want to say it's a cakewalk into the college football playoff, but their home schedule is kind to them. They are at home against Missouri, a team that's with their backup quarterback, and they are at home against a reeling LSU Tigers team. That game should have been a lot bigger than it is, but obviously a bunch of dismissals, Garrett Nussmeier getting hurt, Whit Weeks getting hurt, so that team's in turmoil a little bit. Oklahoma 8.5-point favorites this weekend. Alabama, they get to play Cupcake Week in the SEC against Eastern Illinois. Not sure how much money they paid for that one. And then they get to go to Auburn for the Iron Bowl, a trap game year after year. Interesting to see. I think Oklahoma is going to end up making the college football playoff, as will this Alabama Crimson Tide team. But definitely a big game it was.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there, and you're right. It really looks like Alabama is baby brother to Oklahoma, especially after last season too. Obviously, a huge loss last year, even worse than this year. So it'll be interesting to see. I hope Oklahoma makes it. I think that defense makes a lot of good plays. I know you mentioned the yardage totals, but they turn the ball over, which is huge. Obviously had that huge sack game against Auburn earlier in the season. So I really like that defense.
Got to have a defense in the SEC. They all have offenses. Brent, game of the year?
Yeah, I know you talked about the craziness in Tuscaloosa. How about the craziness in College Station this past week? South Carolina at number 3, Texas A&M, a game that went from season derailer to program-defining win for the Aggies in about one half of football. Texas A&M, they were down 30-3 at halftime, 30-3. Since 2004, SEC teams trailing by 27 or more were 0-286. Texas A&M just became the one. So obviously, Shane Beamer.
Ridiculous.
Shane Beamer had some words to say at halftime. I know he was getting into it with the fans a little bit. Feeling a certain way about himself. We'll put it that way. But it really came back to bite. Marcel Reed's first half was an absolute disaster. 2 interceptions, a fumble return for a touchdown, nothing going right. But then the switch flipped. And you knew this was possible with a guy like Marcel Reed. He came out of the locker room, delivered the best half of his life, 439 yards, 3 touchdowns, absolute command down the stretch. Like he flipped the switch. A&M scores 28 unanswered, takes the lead on an E.J. Smith 4-yard run, and then the defense, which had been shaky all afternoon, finally stepped up with back-to-back sacks and a 4th and 16 stop to close it out. This is officially the largest comeback in Texas A&M history. It keeps the Aggies perfect at 10-0 with the playoff dream still intact. Obviously, was still in the conversation even with this loss, probably. Only one loss you're usually still in, especially as an SEC team. But they don't want to have that loss on their resume. If A&M wants to be true championship caliber, that defense cannot spot anyone 30 points, especially not in November, especially not to a team like South Carolina. The resilience was elite. The comeback was legendary. But giving up explosive plays like that, that's not going to fly in the playoffs. This defense really needs to step it up. But the bottom line is this. Marcel Reed saved the season. A&M showed unreal fight. And like I said, the defense really needs to tighten it up quick if they want to be in contention in January.
Dude, I was watching a different game. Brent, I remember I texted you. I said, I texted our group chat, Brent and Braden, about what is going on in College Station. I don't remember what game I was watching at noon. Whenever this was on, I can't remember. It was my birthday. I was probably not even watching. But I just remember looking down at my phone, and they're within 7, and I'm like, what?
And it was quick. I feel like.
Yep.
Nowhere.
Shane Beamer, that was interesting.
I don't know if he survives this. I'll be honest. Yeah, I feel like he was already on the hot seat. The pumping up the fans or like whatever he was doing at halftime. I don't know if you guys saw that video or not.
Yep.
It wasn't a good look. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets canned. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm honestly a little surprised it didn't come right after that game or on Monday. Or I'm surprised he's still there, to be honest.
Absolutely crazy.
Hey, if James Franklin wants a guy on the staff, we'd be happy to have a Beamer.
Come home.
Not the Navy.
Yeah, dude. I was saving my group of 5 thoughts for recapping this game a little bit afterwards, so that's why I was mostly quiet during that segment. This game was awesome. It was a high-scoring shootout with 39 fourth-quarter points, leads to a Navy victory, and they take control of the American Athletic Conference. They are in the lead. They're the best team in this conference, according to the standings, not according to the rankings, apparently. USF, for them, Byron Brown did just about all he could. 23 for 32, 327 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, with 136 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground as well. Defensively, they allowed 524 yards of total offense, and they allowed 524 yards of Navy offense, and their offense just couldn't keep up. They now have 2 conference losses, so even with probable wins against UAB and Rice to finish the season, they likely will not make the conference championship game and therefore will be ineligible to contend for that playoff bid. For Navy, they won the game by simply running all over the USF defense. Is anyone surprised by that? A Navy offense with a stellar rushing attack. In the air, Blake Corvith was 8 for 15, 147 and a touchdown. He also had 21 carries for 60 yards. And then came the rest of the rushers. Braxton Woodson had 9 carries for 103 yards and 2 touchdowns. Alex Texka had 12 carries for 126 yards and a touchdown. And Brandon Chapman also had a rushing touchdown. All told, the Navy offense put up 338 rushing yards to earn the victory. They will be at Memphis this week. It's a sneaky, tough matchup that could propel them into the conference championship game if they win. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Currently, Tulane is ranked higher than Navy in the CFP poll. So it looks like the American champ, whether that be Navy, Tulane, or North Texas, will likely get the CFP bid. But if there's some more craziness and cannibalization in the AAC, keep an eye on JMU, as we mentioned earlier. As it stands right now, assuming they win the conference, Tulane would be in, which is interesting considering they avoided the big 3, Navy, USF, and North Texas. They didn't play any of them. Their best win is against Memphis in conference. And then Navy, USF, and UNT all with wins against each other. So kind of cannibalizing themselves a little bit, allowing that for Tulane, who got the benefit of maybe a bit of an easier schedule. So it's going to be interesting to watch the American play out. And as we mentioned earlier, who's going to get that group of 5 bid?
It'll be interesting. I mean, I feel like it
UMass.
Does. Yeah.
Yeah.
0-11.
It does matter because these group of 5 teams, like, you know, at the end of the day, like, making the playoff, I feel like, is their championship.
Mm-hmm.
But whichever one of these teams comes out of it is likely going to play Georgia, play I don't know, Oklahoma, in Indiana if they end up losing in the Big Ten championship. It's not going to be pretty, no matter who gets it. But at the end of the day, it is a group of 5 school. Making the playoff is an accomplishment in itself. So I just want to see the right team make it. And I don't think it's Tulane. I'll just be honest about that.
Agreed.
Fair enough. Braden, take us over to your college football best bets. And Brent and Braden, so do you guys like have Rolexes, Lamborghinis, like whatever's going on with the NFL Super 6? Like, you know, here in 3 days I'll start tailing personally. But what's going on?
I don't know. I'm on a bit of a downslide, I think. Started the season off hot, maybe gone 500, a little bit worse since then. But I'm ready to get back on the horse and go 3 for 3 this week.
What's rad?
I'm going to start off with Missouri at Oklahoma over 42.5. This is a big win or a big game for Oklahoma. They need to win in order to stay in the race. So for them, I think they need to get their offense going and score a lot of points because Missouri's offense hasn't been terrible at all this year. They can put up points as well. So I can see both of these teams scoring more than 21 each and, hitting the over there. I also have Tennessee minus 4.5 at Florida. I just think that one's a no-brainer. That line is way too short, and they are at Florida, so that accounts for it a little bit, but Tennessee's going to win by more than 4.5. And Illinois is going to win by more than 7.5 at Wisconsin. Wisconsin's been pretty terrible this year, so I feel comfortable about that.
Luke Fickell's coming back.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. One of the biggest games of the weekend, getting past the group of 5 as well, is going to be this one. The Pittsburgh Panthers at Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, obviously college game day. I was at Pittsburgh last week. Great backdrop, but stinky performance from the Panthers, not Carolina. Yeah. All right, we'll get into that later. Anyways, Pitt is 5-1 in the ACC standings. They have that loss to Louisville. Before we even break this one down, I want to talk ACC championship. We're at the beautiful time of the year where we get scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario XYZ. It's a great time for college football. For Pitt, they have a much more difficult path than Georgia Tech. Pitt needs to beat Georgia Tech and Miami. Then they need SMU to lose to Louisville or Cal. And then UVA needs to beat Virginia Tech. This puts Pitt versus UVA in the championship. Since that third line item's not happening, scenario 2 is where we turn our attention. They need to beat Georgia Tech and Miami. SMU needs to beat Louisville and Cal. And Virginia Tech beats UVA. Scenario 2, much more likely. That puts Pittsburgh versus SMU in the championship. So we could have a bunch of different things. We could have Pitt. We could have Georgia Tech. We could have UVA. We could have SMU. We could somehow probably get Miami in there in all case scenarios given, right? Georgia Tech, theirs is difficult. Beat Pitt, you're in. It's that simple, gentlemen. It's their last ACC game of the season because they get the Bulldogs next week in rivalry weekend. So Georgia Tech, their only loss to NC State. They're 9-1. Haynes King, the senior, fully expecting Georgia Tech in this one, but here's why. You guys may have seen the head coach for Pittsburgh, Pat Narduzzi, in his press conference last week about the game against Notre Dame doesn't matter. Hey, Pat, every game from now on, they really matter, especially that one did. when you got spanked and embarrassed in your home stadium in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh freshman quarterback Mason Heintzschel has been the one to watch. 1,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 6 picks. Last week, he went 16 for 33, 126 yards, and a pick. Got sacked 4 times against that Fighting Irish defense. So you have young kid Mason versus senior quarterback Haynes King. So kind of doing Prince of King there a little bit. Haynes King has gone nuts this year and has been doing it quietly. 2,300 yards passing, sure, that's decent, but it's that 10 touchdowns to 2 pick ratio through the air. He doesn't turn the ball over often, and he has 807 yards for 14 touchdowns. That's disgusting. Haynes King is a menace. This Yellow Jacket team is going to overwhelm the Hive, and every time the Panther is going to get stuck with their hand in the Bumblebee honey jar. Yellow Jackets 31, Pittsburgh 20. I think this one's easy.
Yeah, I know you mentioned the ACC standings up at the top. There's a realistic scenario where there's a 6-way tie when the season's over. Georgia Tech, Pitt, Virginia, SMU, Duke, and Miami could all be 6-2. In that scenario, I think it's strength of schedule. I don't know who would come out on top there. But I would love to see it. The Atlantic Chaos Conference. I'm all here for it.
I think that this is definitely not true. Do not clip me. I think there's a bylaw in the ACC stuff that says that if you end in Tech in the ACC, if that happens, auto bids for both.
Okay.
I like it.
I'm good
down.
with that.
I'm down. I'm good with it. And it's the postseason, so you could change your head coach.
Yeah.
I kind of just figured that in that scenario, Florida State and Clemson would get it because they just think they're better than everybody else.
That's true.
Yeah. They can leave the ACC anytime you'd like. Here's the door. But bring in some group of 5 competent. I don't want that. They're scarier. Tiger Sooners.
Oh yeah, that's me. Let me get my notes up here. As Joe mentioned, Oklahoma just survived the hardest part of their schedule. 2 straight ranked road wins, and now they come home with a real path to the playoff. The big question this week, can the Sooners handle success? You don't want to drop one of these last 2 because that's exactly where teams slip up. And Missouri is the definition of a team you don't want to sleep on. I know Bo Pribula's out, but you do not want to sleep on them. Missouri comes in at 6-3, finally got some momentum back with a blowout win over Mississippi State, and they beat Oklahoma last year. So don't expect them to be intimidated walking into Norman. The quarterback question, as I briefly mentioned there, the whole identity of Missouri's offense changes depending on who's under center. If Pribula is back from that ankle sprain, which I don't think he is. I haven't looked at the latest reports. He's not going to be back. Yeah. Mizzou in that case would get a legit dual threat spark. Since he's likely not going to be back, it's still going to be Zollers. The ceiling is a little lower, but he is a talented kid, freshman, making freshman mistakes. But like I said, you do not want to sleep on him. Now here's the real problem with Mizzou. Running back Nate Hardy, he's a monster. Honestly, one of the best running backs in the country, 134 yards per game, which is ranked number 1 nationally, 15 touchdowns, 6.8 yards per carry, over 4.7 yards after contact, 14 runs of 20-plus yards, also number 1 in the country. He breaks tackles, gets downhill, hits home runs. That's his recipe. But Oklahoma can counter that. They can. The Sooners ranked number 3 in rushing defense, giving up just 82 yards per game and an insane 2.48 yards per carry. If OU wins this game, it'll be because they forced Missouri and their freshman quarterback to throw more than they want to. Mm-hmm. Here's how Oklahoma can attack. Missouri's defense looks elite on paper, top 25 across the board, but a lot of those numbers are inflated by games against UMass, Louisiana, and Central Arkansas. When SEC teams with real athletes have played them, they've given up rushing yards in chunks, including 243 to Texas A&M. OU isn't lighting up scoreboards like past seasons, but they have to be better than the 212 total yards they put up last week. Running the ball should be the key to keeping Missouri off balance. My prediction in this game, Missouri is dangerous enough to make this uncomfortable, especially if Pribula were to play. As Joe mentioned, he's likely not going to. But Oklahoma at home with a playoff path in front of them should find a way. Give me Sooners 24-17.
And if Pribula does play, by the way, injury reports lie all the time, so I'm not surprised.
That's true. It's hard. It's harder to tell in college than it is NFL. NFL, you usually get a good grip on things by at least Wednesday, but not.
Watch the spread on DraftKings because they will know before any reporter does. I guarantee you that.
Yep.
So if you see it start moving towards the Tigers a couple points, you should know that Bo's playing.
And I think the latest, as of what I have, I think I filled this out on Monday, is 9.5. So if you see that creeping towards Missouri a little bit, you'll probably know.
Yeah, that's a 5.5 spread if Bo's playing. Absolutely. Yep. So, Braden, talk to me about two teams that are low-key going under the wave a little bit, not being talked about in the national media as much.
Exactly. There's a reason for that. It's because Ohio State and Indiana are both undefeated and control their own destiny. So in all likelihood, these teams will not be competing for the Big Ten title and are playing for an at-large bid into the CFP. As it stands, Oregon would be in there as the 7th seed, and USC would be out, currently at 15. So this feels like a must-win game for both of these teams. For USC, their quarterback, Jaden Mayava, 2,868 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and 8 rushing touchdowns. And Makai Lemon, his wide receiver, has 1,090 receiving yards, which is 3rd in the country and 1st among Power 4 schools. And he has 8 touchdowns to go along with it. For Oregon, they also have a pretty solid quarterback in Dante Moore. He has 2,190 yards, 21 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. But the defense will be the real story for this game. Their top 10 scoring defense, allowing only 13.7 points per game and allowing just 127.3 passing yards per game. So this game features USC's top 10 passing offense going up against the very best passing defense in the country in Oregon, and it has massive playoff implications. I'm going to start off by saying I think Oregon's going to win 31-23, but I have 2 questions for you guys, and it's such a fun point in the season because we get to ask these questions. First, if the opposite occurs and USC wins, does that knock Oregon out of the playoffs? I think so. The bigger question is it enough to get the Trojans in?
In my opinion, yes. If you're the number 7 team in the country, you're almost playing switcheroo. Mm-hmm. I can kind of pick through the top 10 or top 12 in my brain a little bit through it. And I mean, a 2-loss Alabama team is in there. Obviously, their competition is much better. They're living in like that 11-13 if they win this game.
One thing to keep in mind, they do have a head-to-head loss against Notre Dame, so that's interesting and kind of messes things up a little bit.
I could talk more about how Notre Dame being in the playoff is a joke.
Yeah,
but.
Well, a 2-loss Notre Dame team is always going to make it. That's just how the committee is nowadays. They need to be in a conference. Yeah. I feel like it's a total advantage that they're not in one. Yeah, but I just pulled up USC's schedule. I feel like the only quality win they have is Iowa last week. Mm-hmm. Maybe the next best would be Michigan. They just don't have a great resume. But I do feel like Joe's right. I feel like recency bias also plays a lot
does.
in these college football playoff rankings. So I feel like if they beat an Oregon team that's currently ranked 7th, I feel like they'd probably make it.
Well, recency bias is totally a thing because we just totally forget. Oh, my goodness, who was it? That Notre Dame lost to Miami, lost to A&M, beat Boston College by 15. I could go on and on.
But they're gonna make it. It's Notre Dame, baby.
UConn's 8-3. They're 8-3 independent. Throw them in here. Put them in. We're just letting any team without a conference in. And
Hey.
I say this, and Notre Dame's going to go to the national championship again and lose. But
Notre Dame should be considered the Group of 5 team.
That's not a bad point. That's not a bad.
Nope. Still want North Texas.
Okay.
Or Tulane. Definitely Tulane. Braden, I don't think we ever got your prediction. We just started yapping.
Yeah. Oregon 31, USC 23.
All right, then we don't have to worry about this scenario because you're never wrong. So,
Thanks. I'm 4-4 in college games this season, so the toss up.
It depends the context because 500 is a good batting average. So we'll
Thank you.
That is true. Braden. You are quite literally a Hall of Famer in the MLB with a 4-4 record. So it's all about how you look at it. That or 4 for 4. Like at Wendy's.
Yeah.
Sure. There you go. That's what I had for lunch today.
Nice.
Solid.
Not a sponsor. It's okay. Maybe one day. Sponsor the Sports Outlet Show. We're looking for one. Speaking of food, guys, it makes me think about the graphic, right? First of all, Braden, you destroyed me with laughter with the turkey on the graphic. What's his name? Turk something?
Turk, and he's in for a bad week.
I think the exact text was he's tearing his Achilles this week.
He is.
I don't think it's the Achilles. I think it's just being put on the Thanksgiving plate.
This is also true.
Baked, deep fried, however you want it. But I do remember last year we did the blind top 10 and we did Thanksgiving food. So it would be remiss to do it once again since not much changes when it comes to you looking at the Thanksgiving dinner. What you can do on Thanksgiving, there are a couple things, right? It's not just all about the turkey on the center of the table. There's stuff you do before. There's stuff you do after. There's stuff you do during. Welcome to Blind Top 10 Thanksgiving Day activities. Let me pull this up. Game plan a little bit. Don't talk about any options. Just game plan of what you think.
I like it. I know we talked Thanksgiving food last year, so I like the change up.
Get in the holiday spirit. I love it.
Braden, I forget who's first between me and you. I always forget. I need to
It's
keep
an
a running
instant
tally.
classic.
It's been 2
Here,
weeks.
play. Yeah, you know what? We skipped a week, so play rock, paper, scissors on the screen.
Okay, I love it.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors. Sure.
Ooh.
Boom.
Brent, would you like to receive or kick?
I'll go first. I'll take the ball.
All right. He's taking the ball, and he's going to score. At number 1, and this is crazy to give you firsthand, you have the post-dinner nap.
Man, so I struggle with this one because, Thanksgiving used to be, I'm pretty sure, one noon game, one 4 o'clock game. Now we have 3. So football is all day long, and I'm not skipping football, so I'm usually not partaking in the nap. Maybe like a little 30-minute snoozer just to
That's a nap.
to get some more energy in me. It's not the worst thing in the world. I know not everybody's a football fan. It's just not high on my list. I think I'm going to put it at 7.
Wow.
That's fine. I agree with you, Brent. I mean, in theory, it sounds absolutely amazing. But then you are missing things. You're missing time with family. You're missing football. So, yeah, I'm with you.
You're missing Dak throw 3 picks by now,
Exactly. And that's what we love to see.
You're missing Luke Kuechly have every interception.
Maybe 10 or 20 years down the line, that'll shoot us way up the list.
Yeah. We'll do this again in 30 years. Book it. We're still doing this with dentures in our mouths. We got this. We're still here. At number 2, you have the Thanksgiving Day Macy's Day Parade.
Macy's Day Parade. Okay. I think it's been a while since I actually sat down and watched the parade. But as a kid,
I don't think I ever have.
that was awesome. It still is low on my list, especially at my current age. I think there's a lot of good activities. I'm gonna put it at 8.
I feel like I always like watch like 20 minutes of it, like just waiting for football to start. So that's my viewing of Macy's parade every year.
You got to see the floating SpongeBob every year. Got to see the SpongeBob.
Santa always makes an appearance. I love Santa.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. At number 3, some people do this, and I appreciate that they do this, and we need more people like this in the world. Volunteering at your local food bank.
Very respectable, very nice, Again, I would probably choose it in the morning so I can watch some football. No disrespect there at all. But it's like you said, it's very important for sure. I'm going to put it at 4.
All right.
I like it.
It's an important time of the year to give and serve, people. Make sure you go out there and volunteer.
Definitely in the cold weather, for sure.
Bo loves playing in the cold weather. Hey, only 5 months till we get to watch draft day again. This has a certain name for it, but I'll explain it because you might not know. It's called a gratitude circle. You go around the table and say what you're thankful for.
Yeah, it's very common. Very common. I like it. It does bring the spirit of the holiday, the Thanksgiving. You think about what you're thankful for, and you share it with your family and your loved ones. So I think that's a great aspect of it. I'm actually going to put it at 3. I think at first thought, maybe could have gone lower, but it's the spirit of the holiday.
Give thanks. Wow, good job, Braden. At number 5, I highly doubt either of you have done this, but maybe it's just in an assisting manner. But cooking the actual Thanksgiving dinner.
No, absolutely. Absolutely not. That's the last thing I want to do on Thanksgiving. Obviously much respect for the people that do cook. I'm not a good cook myself. At least not yet. Not at 23 or not. I'm 24. I forgot my age. I'm getting old. Maddie's right. The kitchen
would explode.
The kitchen would explode if I tried to put a turkey in the oven or fryer or whatever it goes in. I am gonna put it at 10 because that really is the last thing I want to be doing on Thanksgiving.
I'm with you, Brent. I think that would stress me out quite a bit. Be afraid to mess it up, and like I'm not a great cook either. Not yet. Hope to be in the future, but shoot. The whole house might explode if I was in there.
It's a lot of food for a lot of people. I don't want that responsibility.
It's stressful. It's very stressful. At number 6, you have not everybody's family does it, but I know mine does, and other people do. It's pretty common. The Thanksgiving family photo. Taking the photo, all getting together.
This is personally not one of my family traditions. Maybe like at the table, somebody will snap a quick picture, but we don't like get together and pose for a picture on Thanksgiving. That's more of a Christmas thing for us. So I think I'm going to put it at 9. Nothing wrong with them having some mementos and family portraits, but not common in my household.
Another, like, if you're wanting to take a picture during football, I mean, you're gonna have to wait till halftime at least, because I'm not getting up from the couch.
No, but halftime is when you're taking the post-dinner nap. So
that's true. It's true.
This is gonna be the hardest one. I'm like looking at the 1, 2, 5, 6, and I'm really, really wondering where you guys are going this one. Watching NFL football.
We've been talking about it the whole segment, so I think it's a no-brainer. Number 1. I don't care if it's the Lions every year. I don't care if it's the Cowboys every year. The Lions are actually a fun watch now. They were a snoozer for
Yep, that's where you got your nap. That's where you got your nap.
The majority of my life. I think Jeff Driscoll played in it one year for the Lions.
David Blow. Don't forget about David Blow.
David Blow. But they're actually a fun watch now. The Cowboys, not a great team, but they're an exciting offense at least. So it's number one every year. It doesn't matter how good the teams are.
Braden, back to you. You have Thanksgiving dinner itself.
It's got to be 2. No doubt about it. Some of the best eats of the year. You're stuffing yourself. You're feeling bad about it the next day, but during, it's absolutely glorious. Got to get that turkey, that ham, the stuffing, mac and cheese, all of it.
No. You did this to gaslight me. You know that makes me mad.
Mac and
cheese. You can have mac and cheese any time of the year. It's not filling up my plate at Thanksgiving. Stuffing.
Maddie's gonna be pissed that you said that.
It doesn't belong. No, get it out. Food. Mac and cheese is the number one. It's the flex of all fantasy sides. It is not at the Thanksgiving table. No, dude. If my mother's mac and cheese is the world's greatest mac and cheese, right? I'll say that straight up. But if she puts it on the Thanksgiving table, that's all I'm gonna want. And then I'm not going to enjoy the stuffing or act like I enjoy canned cranberry sauce or the green bean casserole because I hate green beans. I'm not doing it. I want my stuffing, I want my turkey, and I want to go sit on the couch.
You got to create a little extra room, buddy. Got to have some room for mac and cheese in there too.
No, guys, it is okay to be wrong in life. I'm telling you firsthand. This needs to go on the Instagram, but no mac and cheese. It's not allowed. 364 days of the week or of the year, you can stuff your face with mac and cheese. Not on Thanksgiving. It's not allowed.
All right.
Agree to disagree.
I think I made myself public enemy number 1. Brent, can I still come over?
Nope. Not my take. It's Maddie's. Yeah, I think she disowned you.
I'm sorry, guys. Sometimes I get a little upset. I just woke up feeling the cheesiest, coach. All right, at 5 and 6, it's hard to mess this up, but you can slip a little bit. I don't even remember whose turn it is. I took over the show myself there for a little bit. We have the Turkey Bowl, which is your backyard football game.
I was wondering where this would come up. I've only actually done it a couple times. This isn't a yearly thing for my family. Maybe we don't have enough dudes that want to play. Usually, not to say that the girls can't either, but they usually don't want to. At least in my family. I love football. Again, this would probably be more of a morning activity for me, so I can actually watch NFL as well. But I'm gonna put it at 5.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Not as common as I would like to be for a family tradition in my family. I would like to do this more often, like a pre-lunch sort of thing to build up that appetite for the Thanksgiving dinner. So yeah, I think it's great.
You just see Braden on the Thanksgiving family photo trucking Landon.
Yes.
And at number 6, you have your late night second helping.
Oh yeah, that's always good.
Mm-hmm.
And usually, like, I feel like you're usually stuffed from like the Thanksgiving meal. So this is like truly late night. Usually it's like 11 midnight. You're starting to get a little hungry again.
Yep.
I love the second helping.
The last NFL game just ended. It's you're like not tired yet.
Yep.
Everyone else is in bed. Gonna help myself.
Yep.
Nice. Feel like I just became public enemy number 1, guys, but it's okay. I had this take last year. It's fine. As long as you both have known me, you know this is probably the hottest take in the world that I've ever had. But here is Brent's list, by the way.
Yep.
That's it. That's all he cares about. That's what I've learned.
I mean, Thanksgiving dinner as well. Obviously, can't have Thanksgiving without the Thanksgiving dinner. But definitely NFL is number 1. I could sit there and eat a sandwich, and I'd be happy.
There you go. Whew. What a top 10, gentlemen. I even got involved there for a minute.
That's a good one.
But had to do it. Hopefully I didn't disturb our puppies, but I probably did because they're now thinking about mac and cheese. But I'm going to stand up while we talk about it. We've never had the official ruling. First of all, thank you, fans, for joining in for the Blind Top 10. We'll be back in 2 weeks, not here next week because of Thanksgiving. So, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We understand you have to go now. This is the only reason you're here, but we understand. So we are back. Here's the criteria, by the way. And only from now on, we got a couple wins in there that were at the 140, 135 mark, but we got to be a little more strict here on the Sports Outlet Show. Obviously, we took the week off last week, so we didn't have any post-game pulses. So let me count here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 games for the 2-minute drill. Oh, that's a lot more than normal. Oh, boy. All right. I'm ready for you. You ready? 3, 2, 1. In action, Travion Henderson scores 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 receiving, and Patriots 8th straight win. Mays throws for 281 and the touchdown. Patriots win 27-14 over the Jets. They have only 2 wins. Dolphins Commanders, welcome to Madrid. Devon Achane was there in style, 120 rushing yards, and the Dolphins went on a walk-off 29-yard field goal by Riley Patterson in Madrid. First game there for the NFL. Panthers Falcons, game winning by Ryan Klutz-Gerald. They win in overtime as the Panthers. Bryce Young breaks the franchise record, 448 yards, 3 touchdowns. T-Mac scores 2 touchdowns and leads rookie in receiving yards. Watch more on their Panthers in playoff picture. Texans Titans, Davis Mills throws for 274, touchdown, a game-winning 35-yard field goal from Matthew Wright. 1 win for the Titans still. Bears Vikings 19-17. McCarthy throws 2 interceptions, fails to reach 200 yards for 4 or 5 games. Caro Santos hits a 48-yard game-winning field goal to break the heart of Minnesota. Packers-Giants here. This one was interesting. Singletary scores twice, but not enough as Jordan Love throws for 2. Christian Watson gets both of them. They sneak away with a win in MetLife. Steelers-Bengals, they overwhelm Cincinnati. Steelers does, but they lose Rodgers in the process. Will Howard could be starting next week. Maybe Mason Rudolph. Kenneth Gainwell, receiver of the day, 7 receptions, 81 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Jaguars-Chargers, 35-6, a stomping here. Tucson and ETN combined for 147 and 3 touchdowns in a ground attack. And grounded Herbert's airstrike, probably due to the government shutdown. Jags win a big one. Niners-Cardinals here, 41-22. Brock Purdy returns, gets 3 touchdowns. Heading over to the Ravens-Browns, Myles Garrett has 4 sacks. Shadur Sanders, 4 completions. Who knows what's happening in Cleveland? Eagles-Lions, 69. We'll forget this one and move on to next week. Didn't get a final chance on a PI call. Who knows what happened here? Cowboys-Raiders, 33-16. Emotional night for them. Timeout works for Pickens and CD. They combine for 14 catches, 210 yards, and 2 touchdowns. That's it.
Woo!
Nice.
157.
Perfect.
I forget what you got last. Well, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, but it was close to that. You're getting more consistent.
My notes melged together at one point, and I couldn't see because I was talking so fast. But I think we did all right.
Yeah, I just wish there was more Jameis talk in there. Love my boy.
Jameis.
The immaculate interception.
That was Jalen Hyatt, by the way. That was all Jalen. He stopped his route.
Yeah.
He sucks. Get him off my team. Anyways, we're not talking about the Giants.
I was in my brain during that trying to figure out where I was on game 8 of time-wise, and I felt like I was behind. So I don't know if I made up time or I guess I had to because that was hard. 12 is too many. 12 is too many.
You did good.
Much easier when you have 8 or so. I think that's your sweet spot.
I feel like I got the one-liners and I wanted to.
Yeah, definitely. Let's go.
That's what we need. NFL Week 11 recap. Let's kick it over to an AFC West battle here as we kick over to the NFL.
Yeah, Carson's been waiting for it in the comments. A little Broncos love for the guy. The Broncos, they're winning. They're winning ugly, but it's working. They're now 9-2, undefeated at home, and sitting firmly in the driver's seat of the AFC West, a division the Chiefs have owned for 9 years. 9 straight years. And let's be clear, Bo Nix outplayed Patrick Mahomes. Bo Nix, 65% completion, just shy of 300 yards, poised the entire afternoon. Mahomes, 276 yards, 1 touchdown, one costly pick. That interception, absolute art from the Broncos defense. Chiefs were driving at Denver's 21. Jonathan Cooper flushes Mahomes out of the pocket, and Jaquan McMillan baits him like a veteran corner, steps forward to make Mahomes think he's taking away the scramble, then flips his hips, drops back, snatches it. Mahomes does not get fooled like that often, so it's something I take note of for sure. But this Broncos defense is elite, probably the best in the NFL, probably the best the NFL has seen in a while, honestly. Even without Patrick Surtain, they've held the line every single week. And on Sundays like this, even when the offense isn't spectacular, they can still carry the entire load. The formula works, dominate defensively, force turnovers, win situational football. The Broncos enter their bye with a very real shot to wrap up the division early. They get the Commanders and Raiders next, 2 very winnable games there before a tougher finish with the Packers, Jags, Chiefs, and Chargers. But sitting at 9 wins already, they don't need to be perfect. They just need to steady the waters. I think, honestly, 3-3 is fine for them. Obviously, you hope for 4-2, especially if you're competing for that number 1 overall seed. But meanwhile, the Chiefs are in trouble, guys. I think they're in real tough waters here. Kansas City is now 5-5, 3rd in the AFC West, sitting 5th in the wild card race. 5th in the wild card. Again, only 3 wild cards make it. But here's the big issue. The 3 teams ahead of them in the wild card standings, the Bills, Chargers, and Jags, have all beaten them head-to-head. They get the Chargers again, but as of today, the Chiefs lose every major tiebreaker in that head-to-head tiebreaker if they were to need it. The schedule is not doing them favors. Colts, Chargers, Texans, Broncos again, to name a few. And remember, the Texans are right there in the wild card race too. Lose that matchup, and the hole gets deeper. Here's the bottom line. 9 wins will not cut it for Kansas City with these tiebreaker scenarios. They might need 11, which means winning 6 of their final 7. 6-7. 6-7, boys.
This guy. What a great day to get married on.
Hey, that's what they're saying in the streets. That's what they're saying.
Some are saying.
But guys, 6 games out of your final 7. I don't know if the Chiefs make the playoffs. I think it's in real jeopardy. As of today, that margin is thin, and it's getting thinner by the minute. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think about it as well.
Football, Kansas City, 9 years, right? The AFC West feels like an immovable force of them not being able to get there at this point. But we also know the Kansas City Chiefs. Year after year, season after season, it doesn't matter what Patrick Mahomes is doing. If you let the man into the playoffs, they will make the Super Bowl. So you have to find a way to not let them into the playoffs. Brent, you said it best. You look at Kansas City's schedule moving forward, right? You talked about having to play the Chargers. They played some tough matchups. Obviously, beating the Lions was big for them. Beating the Ravens was big for them at the time. But you kind of hit it right on the head. Their schedule loosens up a little bit, in my opinion. You talk about 6 out of 7 wins. There are 5 on here that I think are – there are 5 – yeah, there are 5 on here I look instantly and say, I think those are winners, right? Cowboys, Texans – I mean, you throw the Cowboys in there, but you don't know what happens on Thanksgiving. You have the Cowboys, the Texans, the Titans, the Raiders. You would assume they split with the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers are as legit as they are seeming, especially getting embarrassed in Duval. Yep. But the Colts game, the Colts game, which I think I know someone's going to hint on later, so I won't give my opinion on it until we get there. And then they play the Broncos again on Christmas. So those 2 games are the ones I'm watching here for Kansas City, but the other 5, I think it's just Kansas City doing business. So 10 wins is not out of the question for me.
I know. I'm just going to say, I know Braden's going to touch on the Colts-Chiefs game later. I think that might be the single biggest game of the Chiefs in this entire dynasty. This regular season is what I'm talking, because I think they're in jeopardy. I really do. So, Braden, what do you have to say?
Yeah, I'll talk more about the Chiefs and the Colts game later, but I want to say there's another 5-5 team with a super talented roster that started the season off terribly, that is also looking to make a playoff push, and their schedule's a little bit easier. The Ravens are right there in that playoff push too.
Yep.
Minus 300 to win the AFC North.
Mm-hmm. But even if they do, the Steelers are tracking. Well, we'll see what happens without Rodgers, but the Steelers they have some wins too.
And then for like these top AFC teams, I think it's the Colts, the Broncos. I'm forgetting the other one. What's the other?
Pats.
The Pats. If you're those teams, do you want to see the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens in your first round matchup?
Absolutely.
No.
It's going to be interesting, this playoff run. I think it's going to be fun to watch.
Yep. We'll side table that as Braden will get into Chiefs Colts here a little later and chat through that game. But switching over to the other West, another division that is just, oh my goodness, between three football teams. Rams, Seahawks, Braden, excuse me.
Yeah. Let's talk about the NFC a little bit. This game, weird. For the Seahawks, 4 interceptions from Sam Darnold. They didn't score their first touchdown until Kenneth Walker punched it in from the 1-yard line with 2.5 minutes left in the game. That was their only touchdown. And then we get what might have been the greatest punt of all time from Ethan Evans, pinning the Seahawks at the 1-inch line. Somehow the Seahawks were still in position to win the game. Jason Myers missed the last.
I was just gonna say it was the last leg of the parlay, so that punt came in clutch for me and Brady.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if that punt was any closer, Jason Myers may have converted that field goal. Instead, he missed a 61-yarder short and right as time expired. Myers had a great game, by the way. Other than that kick, he accounted for over double the points produced by the offense. He had 13 points. The offense had 6, with 4 field goals and an extra point. JSN and AJ Barner were really the only bright spots on the offense. For the Rams, Matt Stafford did what he had to, 130 yards and 2 touchdowns to Colby Parkinson and Devontae Adams. Kyron Williams had 91 yards and a touchdown on 7.1 yards per carry. They really didn't have to gain that many yards to score because of all the turnovers. So they performed well. 2 of those interceptions from Sam Darnold came from Cam Kinchins, who also had 4 tackles and a hit on Sam Darnold. So he played very well. The Rams, currently the number 2 seed in the NFC, and are prepping for a big game on Sunday night, which we're also going to talk about later. For the Seahawks, they're currently the number 5 seed and get a chance to bounce back against the 1-win Titans in Nashville. So that should be a huge bounce back game for the Seahawks.
You want to talk about play of your parlay, Prince? I don't know if it was the punt. I think it was the 61-yard missed field goal. What about talk about a sweat? Jason Myers is fully capable of hitting that.
Yeah, wide right. We barely scraped by on that one, but it made for a fun watch for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I am honored you guys bet the Carolina Panthers. Thank you. I appreciate your faith in the program.
Got you.
As Pat McAfee would best say, but also appreciation in the program is this game right here, Buffalo, Tampa Bay. Buffalo, thank you for your help with beating Tampa. We need it. But obviously, you think, Braden, my 2 favorite players, name them. It's not Christian McCaffrey. You can't name them. My 2 favorite players in the NFL that aren't on the Panthers, name them.
Yeah, you've been a believer in both of them since day one, and that's both of the quarterbacks on these 2 teams. Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Sorry. So many quarterbacks in the league, but Buffalo wins a huge one.
Sorry, excuse me. It's actually Kyle Trask and Case Keenum still on the Bills? Question mark.
I know Trubisky was there for
a
while.
Go.
I don't know.
There
if
you
go.
For all I know, EJ Manuel is still the backup for the Bills. It doesn't matter because Josh Allen lives. Anyways, huge win for Buffalo. They go to 7-3. The Bucs drop 4 of their last 5. Going to 6-4. Josh Allen has a career day, 317 passing yards, 3 touchdowns through the air, does have 2 picks, but 3 rushing touchdowns, puts up about 45 fantasy points to get your team into the playoff picture. Baker Mayfield was overwhelmed a little bit. 173 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And boy, Sean Tucker, tweet that you had a good day today, good sir. The Syracuse Orange guy himself, 19 carries, 106 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tweets after every performance. Great to see him. He out-carried and outran Rachaad White.
Mm-hmm.
Something to look at for fantasy football. And Bucky Irving might come back this week.
I picked him up in fantasy, but I did see that that Bucky might be back. Obviously, that would throw a hindrance in things for sure.
I've been told that Bucky's has been coming back for the last 6 weeks. So
That's true.
If that shows you anything, the groundhog did not see his shadow. So 6 more weeks, Brent. But up next for both of these teams is the Buccaneers is at the LA Rams this week. That's going to be a interesting matchup. We'll let Brent hit on that. And then the Bills, they're traveling to Houston. Thursday Night Football could be a bit of a trap game. So we'll see between Mills and Stroud who's actually going to end up starting there. But you want to go make some money? Brent's got the NFL best bets for you. What do you got?
Yeah, absolutely. I got first off the Raiders minus 3.5 versus the Browns. Usually don't want to throw too much money on the Raiders, especially the way they've been looking the last few weeks. But looks like Shedur's going to start for the Browns. Joe's doing his famous watch celebration or whatever the heck that is.
I was just showing how many touchdowns he had. Sorry. Oh, my bad. Apologies.
I just can't believe the discourse on Shedeur right now. It's obvious the Browns don't want to play him either. Kevin Stefanski's doing everything he can to get Dylan Gabriel back in the lineup, but it's looking like Shedeur this week, and he's not an NFL guy. Let's be real here.
Did you see the statement that Stefanski said that was Shedeur's first reps with the first team?
Yes.
How is your backup quarterback not having reps with the first team in practice? What are we doing in Cleveland?
I don't know, man. I mean, I don't blame him too much because, like, it's Shedeur. Like, and he's going to be an arrogant SOB whenever he's out on the field. So
I don't care if it's Christian Ponder. Your backup quarterback should be taking first team reps in practice.
I agree with you.
It could be Braden Wilkins out there.
Yeah. Yep.
Go save them. Go save Cleveland. You got
Anyways, Raiders minus 3.5. That's what we're going with first. The second one, Jaguars at Cardinals. I'm taking the under. The over-under is set at 47.5. Surprisingly, both of these defenses are actually like pretty good. Jaguars have been a solid unit all year. Cardinals have let up, I think, a couple 30 or 40 burgers, but their defense is actually really, really solid as well. I'm not a huge believer in Trevor Lawrence. Jacoby Brissett is obviously playing for the Cardinals right now with Kyler out. Give me the under in that one. The third one I have is Saints minus 1.5 versus the Falcons. Again, it's not a team I usually like to bet on, the Saints. But Michael Penix and Drake London already ruled out. Saints coming off the bye, and they looked much improved against the Panthers a couple weeks ago. I think Kellen Moore's figured some things out about his team. Obviously, a first-year head coach there. Give me the Saints minus 1.5 versus the Falcons. And
Tyler Shuck does not suck.
Yeah, and I already got on Joe's bad side a little bit. Maybe I'll get on Braden's bad side a little bit here. I have the Cowboys money line versus the Eagles this week. Something about this matchup just screams upset to me. The Dallas defense has been terrible all year long. Made that trade for Quinnen Williams. I'm not gonna lie, their defense looked pretty good. It was against the Raiders. I got to preface that, but they looked a lot better Monday Night Football, and they looked even better the week before as well. So they might have figured out some things on the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, their offense is one of the best in football, if not the best, with Dak, CD, and George Pickens. I think this might be a trap game for the Eagles, so I'm throwing in Cowboys money line there as well.
4 picks.
Yeah, Brent, that's a great 3-leg parlay you got right there. No, I'm kind of with you actually. I think we still got a good shot, but Eagles offense has been really bad the past 2 weeks. Defense has been phenomenal the past 2 weeks, really, really good. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I am intrigued how they're with Lane Johnson being out a couple weeks. How edge rush defensive star Micah Parsons is going to expose that backup. he's still in Dallas, right? He's not.
Dude, if he was, like, the Cowboys would be back in the playoffs again. I am fully convinced. Their offense has just been so incredible this year. It's wild. It's wild that
Dude, all you have to do is put your wide receivers in timeout and they go nuts. It's all that matters.
Yep.
Week 12 games to watch. Brent said it kind of best. There's some intriguing ones this weekend that have really big implications that almost feel like playoff games. And all three of these ones we're going to talk about have major implications in Week 12. This one in specific, Steelers at Bears. The Bears have won 3 in a row and 7 of their last 8. But, guys, you always have to peel back the lens of those sort of statistics, right? 5 of those games, they beat the Raiders by 1 point. They beat the Commanders by 1 point. They beat the Bengals by 5, the Giants by 4, and the Vikings by 2. Cardiac Caleb Williams has been proven that he can win games down the stretch. But how viable was that all the time, especially against – I mean, we look at those 5 teams, and no offense, Brent, they're all terrible, especially when they played them. Aaron Rodgers is the big question here. He has the small wrist fracture. He's pushing to play this week. Mason Rudolph would be next in line, and Will Howard has been activated for a secondary curveball there for Mike Tomlin and company. Chicago, interesting stat for them, leads the NFL in takeaways with 16 turnovers and have a plus 11 turnover margin so far. Their offense has been absolutely explosive in the fourth quarter this season. 105 yards on average and 5 comeback wins all in the fourth quarter. That speaks clutch. Pittsburgh, on the other hand, they're going to look to overwhelm Caleb Williams and force mistakes. They average 3.5 sacks per game, and they need to get in the backfield and not let Williams extend plays, especially to Roma Dunze. Now, I look at the record of the Steelers, and I see 6-4. That tells me they are not on track for 9-8. Therefore, Bears 24, Steelers 23.
Another heart attack for Bears fans.
Hey, man, it's better to have that than to have nothing. So
I know. At least they're on the right side of pretty much all of them. So
I live the same way with Bryce Young every week. 12 of his wins, 10 of them are comebacks.
Yeah, I think I saw that stat. He has more comeback wins than Joe Burrow. I don't know if you saw that. But
I did.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, and for the Bears, after that, they can tie the Eagles on Black Friday because we got an alliance going on. So that's another 1-score game.
You have an alliance?
We do.
What's your alliance? I want to hear about this.
Well, we've had good relations with Bears fans, excluding the double doink. But this year it's really come into fruition because the Eagles have beat the entire NFC North at this point, and the Bears have beat the entire NFC East at this point, except for each other.
Oh.
So we're helping each other out.
Can the Giants get in on that alliance if it means they get more wins?
Sure.
I'm begging for it. I'm begging for anything.
Don't you want to lose at this point, Brent? We're at that point of the year.
No, I just want to see Jackson Dart. I want to see him ball out. That we already got the quarterback. I'm not as interested in the pick this year.
But you could go get Arch Manning.
No thanks. I can't
Cade
believe I'm saying that.
Cade Klubnik?
I can't believe I'm saying that to Arch for sure because I was a huge Arch fan.
Okay, Cade Klubnik. How about him?
F no.
Lenore Sellers.
No.
Dude, DJ Lagway, come on.
I thought this quarterback class was supposed to be better, Joe.
Garrett Nussmeier.
It's a no. Kyron Drones?
There you go.
No, we took it.
Okay, fine. Drew Allen. He was a top 5 pick last year.
It's not good if you're a quarterback needy team once again.
What happened to the draft class? I removed Drew Aller from the conversation. Hope he is healing very well. He's great for college football. Just a great kid, first of all. I removed Drew Aller from this conversation because he got hurt, but what the heck happened to this draft class?
I don't even know who goes number 1 at this point.
Fernando Mendoza, apparently.
Is that what you trust if you're an NFL team? Like
a 1-year Indiana quarterback? Sure. They tried it with Anthony Richardson.
It worked out well.
Hey, NFL, Colts Chiefs.
Yeah, guys. Before we selected the games that we wanted to go over to watch this week, I was looking at the schedule, and I just knew these are the 3 games that we were going to pick because they're all so interesting. Frankly, the rest of the slate isn't that great, but these 3 games are going to be awesome. So the Colts, on a bit of an interesting slide. They were unstoppable in the first 2 months of the season, but haven't been as dominant of late, with the Jaguars and the Texans slowly creeping up on them in the division. In Kansas City, the Chiefs dynasty is in jeopardy. Brent said it almost word for word earlier. That's exactly what I have in my notes as well. They're currently on the outside of the playoff race looking in, so this game is massive for both teams. For the Colts, they're coming off a 31-25 win against the Falcons, capped off with a game-winning touchdown from who else but Jonathan Taylor. He had 244 rushing yards, 42 receiving yards, and 3 rushing touchdowns for the 4th time this season. JT leads the league in rushing yards with 1,139 and 15 touchdowns. The closest in touchdowns is Josh Jacobs with 11. And JT is doing it on 6 yards a carry. He's not like getting a million carries and just going 4 yards a carry and just doing what he's supposed to. He's going above and beyond. He is the 4th best odds to win MVP behind Matt Stafford, Drake May, and Josh Allen, and rightfully so. He's been an absolute beast. Daniel Jones has quite a few turnover-worthy plays recently, looking like his Giants days. Sorry, Brent. He had 6 fumbles and 2 lost and 4 interceptions in the past 2 games. If you tone that down a little bit, you give yourself a chance against the Chiefs. Speaking of the Chiefs, they're currently on a 2-game losing skid versus the Bills and the Broncos. Now, those are good teams, but still you worry. Which Chiefs offense is going to show up is a question that I have. The Chiefs are 4-1 when scoring 28 points or more, which is typical of football, and they're 1-4 when scoring 22 or less. That all sounds typical, but they haven't been able to consistently score more than 28. So the Colts defense is only allowing 20.6 points per game. Interesting formula there. Mahomes is 5th in MVP odds with 2,600 yards, 18 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, and 4 rushing touchdowns. Travis Kelce leads the team with scrimmage yards with 631 and 4 touchdowns. And Rashee Rice has 3 touchdowns and is averaging 63.3 receiving yards per game in his 4 games since his return. The Chiefs are currently 3.5-point favorites. Guys, I'm not ready for the Chiefs season to be over. I wish I would be so happy, but something tells me they're going to come out and they're going to beat the crap out of the Colts 35-21. They're not going away that easy.
I am allowed to gamble starting on Saturday. One of my first wagers will be Colts money line. Or sorry, Chiefs money line. I've ruined it. Terrible.
It's over. It's over.
You don't usually it's not advisable to bet against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes when the season's on the line. I think they're going to come out on this one guns a-blazing. People have been able to turn it over on Daniel Jones recently. I think Andy Reid's going to be able to exploit that a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think this Colts team is as legit as people think they are. This team rides the tails of Jonathan Taylor.
Yep.
And if you bottle that man up, Daniel Jones will make a mistake. He will do it.
It's easier said than done, but yes, I agree.
They need to win it.
Yeah, you said it best. Go play football. Hey, can the Rams win this one? We'll see, but I'd like them to.
Yeah, this is a heavyweight fight against 2 really talented NFC teams going into Sunday Night Football. The Bucs are at 6-4, coming off that brutal loss to the Bills, as Joe mentioned, where Josh Allen hung 6 on them. The Rams are at 8-2, coming off a 21-19 win against the formidable division opponent in the Seahawks, as Braden touched on. The Rams have won 5 in a row against 4 extremely talented opponents, the Ravens, the Jaguars, the Niners, and the Seahawks. And guys, I'm just going to say it. I think this team is winning the Super Bowl this year. They are extremely talented on both sides of the ball. Puka is one of the best receivers in football. Devontae Adams gives them a red zone threat that this team just didn't have in recent years. 10 touchdowns in 10 games. Matthew Stafford is the front runner for MVP with over 2,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. But it does not stop there. They also have one of the most feared defenses in football, and I have to give my flowers to Chris Shula. I believe it was just a couple weeks ago where Sam Darnold had a near perfect game against the Commanders on Sunday Night Football. Well, last week, this defense had him looking like the Darnold who was seeing ghosts with the Jets. 4 interceptions, made him feel uncomfortable all game long. They literally only have 2 first-rounders on that starting defense, and one of them is Emmanuel Forbes, who was a huge nothing burger in Washington. That tells me right there that this is mostly scheme. Chris Shula, come on over, make your way down to the New York Giants, buddy. I'd be happy to have you on the staff. Maybe bring some of those Rams offensive coaches with you. Giants looking for a head coach, obviously. On the other side, the Bucs have lost 2 straight games against the Patriots and the Bills, and I really think they're just missing some of their key playmakers right now to get them over the top. Obviously, the outside presence of Mike Evans is extremely missed, but they're still missing Chris Godwin and Bucky Irving as well. I know those guys practiced a little last week. They're practicing a little this week. Maybe this is the week to get them back in the lineup, but as Joe mentioned, it kind of feels like Groundhog Day with both of those guys right now. Practicing a little bit, but not making their way into the lineup for whatever reason. They're going to need them in this matchup. So if any week is the week that they come back, if they can do it, they should be in the lineup. As Joe mentioned, if you fall in this one and the Panthers win, I believe that puts Panthers at the top of the NFC South there. Is that right, buddy?
Yeah, but don't look at the rest of our schedule. we have that team you're staring at right there on the right-hand side of that bullet point. We have them next week.
Yeah.
49ers Monday Night Football. Christian McCaffrey's going to put 3 touchdowns on us. First time we've seen him since.
And you guys already played the Bills, is that right?
Yeah, we got spanked.
Okay. Because I was just thinking through the Bucs schedule.
Yeah, no, we have the Rams, Seahawks, Niners, Saints, and Bucs twice.
Yikes.
That's rough, but you have yourself in a good position now. Maybe you can squeak in.
Franchise records from Bryce. That's what we need.
Yep, absolutely. Back to this matchup. I'm picking the Rams all day. Like I said, I think they're my Super Bowl favorite right now. I've got them winning 31-21 against the Buccaneers.
Wow.
Yeah. Matt Stafford, MVP favorite for a reason. He's so good.
He's going off. He's going off.
One of his best seasons of his career, which is saying a lot.
And I mean, what is this? His age 37, age 38 year? Like he's old. Like the numbers he's putting up this year is crazy.
And he was injured coming into the season with his back injury. Like we weren't even sure he was going to play in week 1.
Yep.
I'm telling you, if he wins the Super Bowl, wins the MVP, he's done.
Yeah, I think so too.
And that would be very sad. Because Rodgers is a part of the class we grew up with, but I throw Matt Stafford in there too, as well. So that's all we're holding on to at the moment.
Stafford and Rodgers kind of closes that door to that era of quarterbacks, which would be sad.
Yeah, it's depressing. Nobody cares about my survivor pick because I've already lost 4 of them in 10 weeks. So like, I'll be brief. Seahawks over Titans. Brent.
That's a safe one to gamble on. I think that might be the highest spread of the week.
Whoa! No, not gambling on it yet.
I'm going a little bit more dicey, but I already touched on it a little bit, and I don't know how dicey it is with Shedeur at quarterback. But I'm going the Raiders over the Cleveland Browns.
I love it. What is the max that DraftKings will let you do for this spread?
The only thing I fear, and it was one of my best bets, so I am going to bet it. Myles Garrett has been a monster. I'm afraid that he might wreck the game. That's the
Brent.
maybe it'll be like a 3-2 game.
Brent, listen. I have your back on this, and here's why. Myles Garrett could sack Geno Smith 13 times, and they would lose by 10 points.
That's what's been happening for the other Browns games. So
personally guarantee it.
You're not wrong.
Braden.
Give me the Jaguars over the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett set an NFL record for completions last week, and they still lost by almost 20. So, and then the Jaguars just beat the heck out of the Chargers, and they're rolling. They're rolling. I'm very confident about this one.
Wow. I love it. I'm a fan. That's your survivor picks, your best bets. There would here in a couple of weeks, there's going to be a new segment for Mr. Joe over here. You know, as long as the SEC doesn't decide to wreck our plans again, with sports betting being legal on Saturday for college athletes, staff, and coaches to bet on professional sports. So we're right there. We're 3 days away, but Greg Sankey is if he says the word, then we're cooked again. So we'll see. We'll see. Doing our best here. Doing our best. But thanks, everybody, for hanging out here with us late tonight. Capping off a little late here at 8:30, but we haven't seen you in 2 weeks, and we're not going to see you for 2 more. Next podcast on 12/3 at 7 o'clock Eastern time. No podcast next week due to Thanksgiving break. So make sure you go spend some time with your family. Enjoy all the sides, you know. Sweet potato casserole, green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, cranberry sauce. What was that, Braden?
Mac and cheese.
Split peas?
Yeah.
Split pea soup? Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Okay, just making sure.
Exactly.
And don't forget those rolls. Plenty of rolls. You know, you got to get the mashed potato tower, put the gravy in, dump the roll. That is good. But we will see you. We will see you next time here on the Sports Outlet Show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight. Don't fear. Don't fret. Thanksgiving, we'll still have the post-game pulses running as typical. So we will see you on December 3rd, and it'll be Christmas season, and a lot will have happened in the NFL that we'll break down. Thanks so much. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time here on the Sports Outlet Show. Good night.